Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly here. Hope everybody's doing great. And we are connecting to Facebook. I think we should be live on Facebook. What's up everybody? Welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing great, and let us get started. First, actually, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. So make sure you agree to that before proceeding with today's video. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. Amazing free ebook. Link for it is below. All right, let's talk about the market. Let's talk about some swing ideas for next week. We have some pretty amazing stuff. I think amazing ideas. We'll see what the market does, but the first thing I'm going to talk about is the market. Before I start, if you find benefit in today's video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, please. And if you have any questions for us, send us an email, info@t3live.com, info@t3live.com. So here's the market for you. As you can see, we've been in a downtrend ever since beginning of April or so. April 5th really is when we broke that pivot. See that pivot? We broke it on April 5th. And then ever since then, we've been in a downtrend. Now, it's easy when the downtrend is nice and controlled, like here. It's easy. Over here, it's pretty hard. Far from the 20. The 20 is a little bit flat. It's not flat overall. You know, it is downtrending, pointing down for sure. But recently, you know, it's a little flattish. It's not 45 degree like it was over here, and we're far from it. So we're oversold a little bit. So my prediction is we will probably go sideways for a week or two, maybe just a week. We've also reached that support area. You can see it better on the monthly, maybe. Not that there's not much room below. There's a lot of room below. But you see this area right here? So that's where we're at right now. So we've reached it. There's a lot more room to go. And that's my fear, is that this is going to be a long-term thing. It's going to be a long-term downtrend because, you know, I was just thinking about it this weekend. How long will it take to, we're still raising interest rates. The Fed just started raising interest rates practically 2 months ago. How long will it be before the Fed starts to say, okay, inflation is under control and we're going to start to lower interest rates and get back to that zero interest rate economy or that we've had the last 15 years. Gosh, I went full time in April of 2007, beginning of April, like April 7th or 8th. 2007, and ever since then until a few months ago, it's been a zero interest rate environment. So how long will it take to get back to near zero interest rate environment? I think it'll take a couple of years, which means I think this will be a longer term downtrend than the average bearish. The average recession lasts only 11 months. So okay, and the average bull run lasts over 5 years. So I think this will turn out to be a lot longer than that. I think it'll probably last a couple of years. I don't know for sure. Just like you, I'm just sharing my opinion with you here. Nobody knows for sure. We are at some support, so I think for the immediate future, for next week, I think we'll probably be sideways unless some major news comes out. Okay. We might even attempt to bounce, but ultimately where I think we're headed is down here, which is, you know, the $200 area on the Qs. You can also look at the SPY and it's going to be the same picture, just the Qs is more dramatic. So, you know, it's gonna, you know, the SPY probably, I would say around here actually on the SPY, you know, somewhere there. That's where I think we're headed. So if we were to look at the, hold on one sec. My cursor's not, there it is. So I think around, probably eventually around the 320 number, 320 or so. On the Qs, Qs is a little bit more difficult because I think the Qs it could be 225 and then all the way down to 165. I think around the $200 area. We're far from it, so we'll just we'll see how it goes between now and then. But I don't think this is it. I think there's a lot more to come, and I think eventually we'll head down to that area right here. It's not a tight support area, so I don't know for sure what the number will be, but I think this will be the third, fourth major bubble that, or 50% drop in the market. We've only had a few, like three 50% drops in the market the last 100 years. The Great Depression, the tech bubble, right, and the Great Recession. And so I think this will end up being the fourth time the market makes a 50% drop. Okay, the Qs will drop more than the SPYs. Maybe the SPY won't reach 50%, but the Qs I think will get there eventually. So don't be in a hurry. My recommendation to you is, this time around, this is my recommendation. I'm gonna turn on the full cam so you really get this. Better be late than early this time. That's my recommendation to you. And I make that mistake too all the time, which is I like to be early and then take a stop or get out if need be, but I hate being late. But this time around, my recommendation to you, to me, to everybody is better be late than early, because my gut feeling is that this will take it will take a long time to unwind, okay, or to get back to a bullish market. That's my gut feeling. Could be wrong, only time will tell. And then the good thing about being a technician, being an objective technician, which is always my goal, is I will assess and reevaluate. And if I think if I think what I said the previous week was wrong, I'll adjust. No harm in doing so, right? You always want to be objective. You always want to tell the truth as much as possible, right? Read the charts and tell it like it is. So I'll adjust if need be, but that's my gut feeling, is that this is going to be very prolonged, and so better be late than early, because if you're early and you're early and you stick with your positions, you don't get out, boy, it's gonna hurt. Okay, all right. With that said, let's now talk about some of the swing ideas. We talked about the Qs, the SPY is the same, but not as extended maybe, but that's about the same. I have a very nice watch list for this week. The watch list, for your convenience, was copied and pasted in the description of the video, so you don't have to type it up from scratch. Let's start off with the ADMA. Wow, this thing looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? Look at what this stock is doing compared to the market. I wasn't aware of it on Friday. I probably would have gotten in it if I had seen it, but I found it only when I scanned this weekend. Looks like it triggered by a penny or two on Friday already, but it's not late at all, as long as it doesn't end up gapping, because some of these will end up gapping based on what the market does, based on whether the market gaps, opens up tomorrow or down. So I like it a lot over the base. Stop under it, okay? ADMA. Next on the list is APLD. All right, you might look at this stock and say, Sammy, what are you thinking? This is a bear stock. Yes, it is a bear stock. I'm looking for just a rebound. This is a bullish stock that's breaking out. This is a bear stock that I'm just looking for a bounce back up. You see what I mean? It's overextended to the downside. It sold off from $5 to $1 in less than 2 weeks. I don't know how many days we can count, but looks like it's less than 2 weeks. And it looks like it's going to bounce back up a little bit. So my primary time frame is always the daily, but I also use the hourly chart for entries just to get the detail of what's happening on the daily chart. I go to the hourly chart and look at what's happening. And that's a pretty nice hourly base breakout. So over the base long, okay, stop below it. The target is a little bit tricky. Will it get up to here? That would be absolutely huge. That would be about 100% gain if it got to $2. Will it only get to $1.40, $50? I don't know. So we'll have to see how, if it does trigger, if it does pop, we'll have to see how it's trading, how it's behaving, and then make, make decisions as we go. Okay, so there's a target there around 150, and there's another target at $2. That would be, like I said, almost 100% gain from current price. So I like it a lot. I have a few other ideas that look just like the APLD. Okay, starting with the IMTE, by the way. Okay, all the way down to, like, I don't know, to the RGTI. We'll get there in a minute. CBIO, I didn't want to really get in it on the breakout because it wasn't a tight base. It broke out already. I didn't get it. That was on Friday. It was already on my watch list. But guess what? Now we have a topping tail. A topping tail is bearish. The negation of a bearish bar or bearish event is bullish. So if we take out the topping tail bars high, it'll be nice and it'll be very bullish. So I would like to get in it over 161. If it triggers, if it takes out 161, I'd like to get in it. Stop would be under 128, okay, on the CBIO. DBVT, all right, it's a nice daily buy setup, but it's a little thin, doesn't trade much volume. It's a little bit sloppy also. Long over the base, if you like. I'm gonna pass on it. It's just an idea. Stop under the base and target up here somewhere, okay? On the DBVT. DOCU, okay, this is a different kind of play. So DOCU is down from $300. I mean, I don't know how much. Yeah, 300 plus, 315 it looks like, to $60 to support also. Okay, so here's the idea on the DOCU. Long over the base, okay, right here, long, stop under it as a long-term trade. Doesn't look that great, but it might be the bottom. I want to show you what we did in the SST program last time around. It was the same exact thing. It had gap down in a large amount, like it did recently. So exactly the same thing. It gapped down a large amount, and then it broke out. We played it. I called it for the newsletter, long over the base, stop under it, and I don't remember exactly where the exit was. Okay, it got to target 1, like up here at the top, and then I think that the back half was trailed right here. But so gap down after being down a lot, and then a base breakout on the hourly chart, exactly like it is right now. Okay, the only issue is it doesn't look as good this time around. Why do I say that? 1 second, please. Let me adjust the chart. Because the hourly is not a very tight base, but over the base, long, stop below it. It's an idea, long-term idea. FRGE is also a bearish stock that is bouncing and breaking out on the hourly chart. Truth be told, it triggered a few days ago, but I wasn't too sure about it. Didn't love it over here. I wish I had bought it when it triggered. It was on my daily watches. It was on my radar. But I decided, I don't play everything that I find. I play the favorites. And if you're a subscriber, by the way, you know which ones are my favorite, because that's what goes in the newsletter, basically. Okay? And if you're ready to, to check out what I've posted in the newsletter, you can access it right now through your customer portal on the T3 Live website. Or wait for the email, wait for the newsletter to hit your inbox by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. But if you want to take a look at it, because I like to place my orders before the market opens. I don't like to wait until the next morning, until the day, the market opens, because I'm rushing in the morning. I'm looking for plays, the gaps, doing all kinds of things. So I usually place my orders almost always the night before. So that's where the trigger should have been, but I passed on it. It now has another base breakout. Not bad at all. Over the base, stop under it. I'd give it some room so as to not get shaken out, meaning I wouldn't put the stop under Friday's low. That would be like a little too tight, in my opinion. I'd give it some room and then target the 20 MA, okay, on the daily chart. So that's the FRGE. GO, I mean, wow, this thing is bullish, bullish, bullish. It's at multi-month high, the new high for the year, and it has a 1, 2, 3 grocery outlet. It's a forgot what it is. Oh, it's a grocery store, but I think it's like a cheap grocery store. So long over 41.36, stop under 39.40. 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. IMTE is exactly like the APLD. Remember the APLD? It's not a bullish stock, but it's starting to bounce. I'm looking for the bounce. The same with the IMTE. I would be looking for the bounce. Between the two, I like the APLD more. But this thing also fell apart from 12 to 2 in one day. Pretty much, looks like. So long over the base, stop under it, and target the 200 maybe. Okay? If it, actually the 200 would be probably too much. Asking too much. So target one probably $4. 200 would be more than 100% gain. On a weak stock, you know, we shouldn't look for such a for that much, I think, most of the time, because you'll end up exiting too late, basically. The MVST, another one that's like the FRGE. It's a little bit late because it triggered probably Thursday of last week over the base. So it's a little bit late, but it still looks higher. And notice on Friday, it spent the whole day, except for the first bar, it spent the whole day going sideways. So this could be actually even played as a day trade over the base, stop under the space. As a swing trade, I wouldn't put the stop under this tight base. I'd give it room to here, under the 20 on the hourly chart. Okay? So it's similar to the IMTE, similar to the APLD, but it's a little bit late. PRAX, already an open position, just as a disclaimer, but it looks good. I thought I would include it on the watch list for those that are not in it and might be interested in it. I like it. Okay? Hourly based breakout, looking for target up here in the $3 area maybe on the PRAX. RGTI, okay, RGTI is another one of those big drops, right? That's bouncing. I think it triggered on Thursday too. So the entry should have been right here. Long this day, stop under. I probably wasn't bullish on the market yet, or I wasn't expecting the market to bounce or whatever. So I passed on all of these, but it still is not too late. Over $5. Okay, I'd give it to over 5. Stop under 450. Target maybe up here. Okay, not a huge R to R, reward to risk. SELB is like the GO is a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart, but obviously the GO is a lot more bullish. So over the double top right here, stop right here. It's a 1, 2, 3 buy setup, not buy setup, 1, 2, 3 pattern. Okay, long over 138, stop 121. SIGA. Okay, SIGA is different. SIGA is a daily buy setup, but check out the monthly on the SIGA, monthly or weekly. So for the, it just broke out for the first time in how many years now? 4 years almost. Finally broke out. Well, it broke out in 2021 and then came back in. But this time it does not look like it's going to come back in. So that's what I like about it. It had a long-term base, a 3-4 year base, and it broke out. So I like it higher. It looks like it's a little bit crazy wild because of the tails and whatnot, but I like it higher to about $14 or so on the SIGA. And then the entry for the SIGA would be over this bar's high, which would be 1154. Stop, can give it the room to 933, or if you want to be super tight, to 1070. Okay, up to you. And then there's some Chinese stocks that I like a lot. As you know, I've been bullish on China, and they've done much better than the market. They've been moving up. So here's some China stocks that I like. BILI has a nice hourly base. So if it can just take out the hourly base, I like it higher. Stop right here. Okay, so it looks like about $27.50. I know it's $27.50 by $25. Long-term play, as the 20 and the round on the daily chart is starting to point up. Big rounding bottom, so I like it. BZUN, similar. I was in it actually. I was in the BILI too. So BZUN is the same same exact idea, but I like the BILI a little bit more. So over the base, stop down here is okay, 950. So about a $1 stop over 1050 by 950. FINV, also over the daily base. It's not an exact base, but up here long, stop below it. Long-term plays. The China stocks, long-term plays. PDD is up a lot. So I was in it, but got out. Now, even the long-term plays, I sometimes get in and out all the time, actually. Why? Because everything eventually follows the market. Not everything, The majority of stocks eventually follow the market. So when I see the market starting to crash, then my stock, let's say, breaks down, then I will get out of it often. So that's why I was in all of these and got out of them, because I'm following also, I'm keeping an eye on the Qs. Long stop, not my favorite because it's already up a lot. This might be my favorite of the 4 or 5 China stocks that I mentioned here. So this is my favorite for tomorrow, over 250, 251. Okay, stop, tightest stop would be under 227, so it's a 25-cent stop. Or to give it more room and make sure to not get shaken out, since it's a long-term play, under 204, so it's about a 50-cent stop, slightly under, or 25-cent stop. So this would be a long-term play, but it really needs to clear 251, which is this bar's high. Or, this bar's high is 251. Needs to clear 251 for sure. Now, the only question mark is, do we put the stop here? Use the tight stop? As a swing trader, I would do that. I would use the tight stop. As a long-term trade, if you want to do it as a long-term trade, I'd give it to $2, to 203, so as to not get shaken out. Okay? So those are the long ideas. The short ideas all look alike for the most part. They're 1, 2, 3 patterns. So you get the wide range igniting bar, the narrow range bar, and then the continuation lower if we break under Friday's low. Short, stop. They're mostly the same. Okay? APT, see, I don't even need to draw those lines. It's the same. It's a 1, 2, 3. So short, if it takes out the bar's low, Friday's low, stop goes over Friday's high, and then bar by bar on the way down. Okay? I don't want to look for the target now because the video will be an hour long. So you have to, easiest management would be bar by bar or hourly pivots on the way down. AUR is a daily based breakdown. I was gonna do it and I ended up not doing it over here as a breakdown off the 20. It was on last week's video. Okay, or the week before. I didn't do a video last week. I was out. But you see it right here. So short under the base, stop above it. Okay. CARR is a 1, 2, 3, just like the AMD is. So CARR is a 1, 2, 3. CROX 1, 2, 3. Look at the CROX. Amazing. Look at the climactic move up. Right. So it should have been shorted right here. And then look at the 180 down to 47, and it looks lower to 20. Believe it or not, it looks all the way down to lower to 20. EAT 1, 2, 3. So in this case, the entry is not under Friday's low. It's under the lower of either Thursday or Friday, whichever is lower. So in this case, Thursday's bar is lower than Friday's low, Friday's bar. So the entry should be under 23.59 with a stop over 24.59. Okay, a dollar. The EXPR 1, 2, 3. Grab is a base breakdown. So it's like the AUR. It's not a 1, 2, 3. It's a base breakdown. Under the base, stop above it. So lots of ideas here. 1, 2, 3 on the NXPI. PETZ is a base breakdown. I don't know if this is available. Sometimes the low price stocks are hard to borrow, and I wouldn't know until tomorrow morning before the open, because my platform TradeStation doesn't show you what's hard to borrow and what's easy to borrow on the weekend. So the shorts, I have to put the orders in before the market opens tomorrow morning. The longs, I already have the orders in the system for me. Okay. Qualcomm 1, 2, 3. RIVN is a weekly sell setup. I don't think it's quite ready yet, but look at the weekly on RIVN. Tell me that doesn't look lower. Looks lower, but because the daily is a little sloppy, so I think it may need to go sideways a little bit and then short under the double bottom, stop over the green bars high. Okay, I don't think it's quite ready, but it looks low. SFIX also is a base breakdown after a gap down. That's bearish. But if you look at the hourly chart of SFIX, the 20 MA is flat. The blue line is flat. So I think this is not quite ready, but it's beautiful. Just need to watch it for the next day or two, probably before it's ready. Okay, WSC 1, 2, 3. So short under this bar's low, which is 30.65. Stop over 31.85. And then WYNN is a 1, 2, 3, and yellow is a 1, 2, 3. So lots of ideas, and believe it or not, that's not my entire watch list. I'm just showing you the ones that I think are more ready to go tomorrow, but that's not even my entire watch list. So lots of ideas. It will all come down to the market. I think what the market ends up doing, gapping up and moving up, or gapping down and selling off tomorrow, and we'll find out. But either way, I have some shorts that I like, I have some longs that I like. Whichever way the market goes, I will probably get triggered into the plays based on what the market does, based on the direction the market takes tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know lots of ideas, but again, I don't take all these ideas, I take a handful. And if you're a subscriber, then you will know which ones by logging onto your account or waiting for the newsletter to hit your email inbox tomorrow morning. If you'd like to become a member, check out the link in the description. It's only $49 for the first 30 days. So you can try it out for 30 days, see how you like it for just 49 bucks. It's nothing. So check it out, okay? Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Best of luck with your trading next week. Take care, everybody. Ciao.